famous footwear.
We are out of time, but tomorrow we will show you the young lady who won one of the most coveted roles in all of Hollywood. We're flying high with the new Supergirl.
Oh, come on! Look up at the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane. It's a female superhero coming to prime time.
You can't help but feel like a strong, empowered woman.
She's great, and the show looks like a lot of fun.
It does. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. Do you have the KRGV weather app? It's interactive. You can track storms headed right towards your neighborhood with live radar. In fact, you can check the weather for any place you want. Check out the 10-day forecast. One touch delivers hour-by-hour weather. You can see video forecast and even submit your very own weather photos. It's the fast way to get your official forecast. Download the free app, available for Android and iOS devices.
Supported by McDonald's, Bain Auto Group, Plains Capital Bank, and Shaw Eye Center.
Channel 5 News, available in Spanish on your SAP channel.
It is hot, 103 right now in McAllen. That's cooler than it was just a few minutes ago. Now the rain is what we're watching for. We'll update your forecast as Channel 5 News at 5 begins right now.
From the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News at 5.
We continue to follow breaking news north of Weslaco. Multiple agencies are involved in a search. That search happening right now.
Details are still coming in at this hour. Our Valerie Williams joins us live from Sioux Road and FM 88. And Valerie, do we know who or what authorities are searching for now?
What happened here is, of course, a burglary that was foiled. Now, it was foiled by the homeowner. He happened to walk in. He saw two men in his house. The officers tell me that they actually had a pile of goods already set aside to put into a Tahoe. That Tahoe was taken away earlier today. Now, of course, it is evidence. This no longer is an active crime scene. They arrested one of the gentlemen who ran away and was in one of the fields that surround the property here. The other gentleman, I'm told, got away. They are still looking for one of the people who was inside, apparently planning to burglarize this property. The homeowner I spoke to earlier, he said that he's a little bit shaken here. He wants some time to deal with what he has processed concerning what happened here, and he perhaps will talk to us later. Live on Sioux Road and FM 88, I'm Valerie Williams.
Now at 5, money is already flowing into the valley because of the proposals to build natural gas export terminals in Cameron County.
At least 3 companies want to build the terminals along the Brownsville Ship Channel. The plant would convert natural gas to liquid so it could be loaded onto tanker ships for export.
Channel 5 News has learned that 5 companies have options to lease land at the Port of Brownsville, and those options mean cash.
Yes, they do. I-Team reporter Kirk Chason has been digging into this today. He's here now with the very latest. Kirk.
Right. Port officials say they've signed 5 options with different companies. Those options keep about 2,800 acres of port land off the market for 1 year. Now, here is the ship channel. This is a map we got just from them today. This is the ship channel right here. Port Isabel's up here. Turning Basin is down here. And what you're going to see here is 5 different pieces of property. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all outlined. It looks like it's in green on this, and these are the lease areas, the option to lease areas. And so what you see is a couple of them are up here pretty close to Port Isabel, Texas, and Rio Grande LNG. Then you have a couple of new companies down here that we hadn't really heard much about before because they haven't entered the pre-filing process, Gulf Coast and then Sedeco LNG. So again, this is all along the ship channel here. Companies paying $584 per acre per year for the option to lease. All combined, it totals more than $1.6 million.
What they were looking for was an abundance of land, which the Port of Brownsville has, and we're relatively close to the Eagle Ford Shale, which is where most of the gas is coming from, and they needed a deep water draft, which the port is also.
So that deep water draft means the ship channel can handle the large tanker ships that would be receiving the liquefied natural gas from the terminals. The port is already putting that money to use on road and lighting improvements. They also use some of it to help pay for a matching grant for a new heavy cargo dock. Also now, for the first time, one government agency in the area is coming out against the LNG projects. We'll have more on that in about 1 hour. Live in the studio, Kirk Chase on Channel 5 News at 5.
Well, less than 2 hours of demolition wiped away years of crime. 607 King Road is now an empty lot. The San Juan home that once stood there was just leveled.
Neighbors say had those walls talked, they would have detailed some very scary moments. I'm Melissa Correa reports now at 5.
We're on King Road. I'd say about, 12 feet?
12 feet between her home and a stash house.
I didn't even know.
If it weren't for the names left behind, we wouldn't know it either. Police never gave Emma Quintanilla much to work with.
We're chasing somebody, so lock your doors. Oh, okay.
Tonight, she's not as nervous. After repeat raids, authorities tore down the white and blue wood frame.
All of it, the crushing of the boards just falling down. It's awesome.
Moises Martinez saw it all from his 10-speed.
I had to take pictures to tell my wife that it was tearing down because she wouldn't believe me. Been there for a long time and nobody's done anything about it.
607 King Road is the Fourth Valley stash house to fall in 3 weeks. If these walls could talk.
Some of the conditions are brutal. Obviously, there's no air in there. There's no running water. People are not getting fed right, and oftentimes they're there against their free will.
It's unclear just how many people hid here. We made calls and learned. San Juan police say they've received more than 70 calls for service in the neighborhood over the last 3 years.
Shocked and didn't know what actually was going on right beside my house.
Shock and awe on one major change.
Everything starts with one.
Felt just feet from their homes. Melissa Correa, Channel 5 News at 5, San Juan.
Today's teardown is part of the Border Patrol's Taking Care of Business campaign. The feds work with local communities to identify the homes, apartments, businesses, even motels that are used for crimes. They can range from human smuggling to prostitution. The feds contact the property owner after every raid. Attempts are first made to secure that property well before a structure is destroyed.
Well, if it felt hot across the valley today, it's because it was, especially in the upper valley. McAllen went to 105 this afternoon, setting a record. The old record's 103, set back in 1945 and tied in 2009. So it's the hottest it's been on this date as far as records go back. It's down to 103 now in McAllen, while the island, look at the contrast, 86 at the beach, in the upper 90s across the rest of the valley. But the dew point is up. It's very humid, so the feels like temperature's running between 115 and 120 across the upper valley right now. That's why that heat advisory's been in effect for Hidalgo County all afternoon. Now we're looking for the chance of rain and maybe some heavy rain. We'll check that forecast for you coming up in a few minutes.
Harlingen police need your help in finding 3 men who bought over $1,000 worth of merchandise from local stores using stolen credit cards. This is surveillance footage from the Walmart on West Lincoln Street in Harlingen. Suspects seen here. One of them swipes the card. The men used that stolen credit card to buy more than $500 worth of merchandise. Well, they moved on and later stopped at the Walmart in Los Fresnos, where they spent another $500 using the same card. The men were seen driving away in a silver Ford Expedition with black rims.
As soon as you're aware that you've been a victim of identity theft or credit card abuse or any type of theft, any type of crime, the best thing you can do is to report it immediately and give us a chance to, gather what evidence we can.
If you think you know these men or their whereabouts, you're asked to contact Harlingen Crime Stoppers at 425-TIPS.
A former Rio Grande City police officer is in custody of the feds right now. A judge denied Noel Peña bond today. Peña's attorney had filed a request asking Peña be released because he was in need of knee surgery. He injured it while working for Rio Grande City police. Peña's attorney says he re-injured his knee and is now using a wheelchair. Peña was arrested on charges of conspiracy to possess 10 kilos of cocaine earlier this year. He was working as an investigator with the Haida Task Force at the time. A Texas man accused of a bomb threat hoax at the Statue of Liberty is now behind bars. 42-year-old Jason Paul Smith was arrested in Lubbock today. Smith's hoax resulted in the evacuation of 3,200 people who were visiting the Statue of Liberty in April. Police say he called 911 and identified himself as an ISIS terrorist. Smith is being held without bail.
The San Antonio police arrested a man they say ran a prostitution ring involving college students. 38-year-old Steven Sumlin is accused of recruiting female students across the state for his escort agency. According to San Antonio authorities, Sumlin is suspected of going to college campuses in the state and enticing women to join his business with a prospect of making big money. He was arrested following a 6-month undercover investigation.
He would go to these college campuses and attempt to reach out to these females, and he would use internet ads and so forth to try and reach out to college-age female students to work for him. Once he had them in his grips, he was very intimidating. He would use force, any type of intimidation to keep them working for him.
Court papers say an undercover officer posed as a customer and booked an appointment online with the agency. Someone is free on bond.
A police officer is caught on camera violently beating a college student. A worker at a Marriott hotel in Athens, Georgia, called police to report a drunken student trespassing last month. When Officer Jonathan Frazier arrived, he found UGA student Michael Roquette. Frazier asked the student to leave several times, and at first he resisted, but Roquette eventually started to walk away. He lived at the fraternity house next door to that hotel. But before he got there, the officer grabbed him, pinned him to the wall, and then began swinging at him 9 times with his baton.
Our officers are taught to de-escalate, and if you can't de-escalate, then use the minimum amount of force necessary to control the situation. And in my opinion, Officer Frazier at that time went beyond that.
Officer Frazier is now charged with aggravated assault and violating his oath as a sworn officer. The key evidence in the case is his body camera video. Officer Frazier was fired after this incident happened. The student in the video says that he has retained a lawyer and he plans to file a lawsuit against the police departments. A motel turned to rubble after an explosion. Right now, 2 people still missing. What authorities say saved the lives of many hotel guests minutes before that explosion happened.
Plus, in Alaska, crews working to recover the bodies of those swept away in a landslide, while authorities won't let residents back into the area after the break.
Breaking news. Breaking stories. This is Channel 5 News with Oscar Adami, Carrie Zayas, and First Warn 5 Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. This is Channel 5 News at 5.
With these hot deals and save. Now, during Ford's summer sales event, lease a new 2016 Ford Fusion S for only $180 a month for 24 months when financed through Ford Credit. Or get $10,287 off MSRP on a new 2015 Ford F-250 Super Crew at Payne Weslaco Ford and Payne Rio Grande City Ford. We have what you want.
Look at who cares regardless.
We will ask new questions. We will find innovative answers. We will connect science with research, providing solutions, improving lives. We will look at more than words and numbers, learning beyond the classroom, exploring new worlds. We will inspire and challenge you, creating opportunity, and building tomorrow together. Welcoming students to a new university with space exploration opportunities for the 21st century.
So your dad let you borrow the
Buick, Mr. Simmons. And it's got a 5-star overall safety rating, so there's nothing to worry about.
My grandpa used to drive a Buick.
I don't think that's what he's worried about.
That's not your grandpa.
Now get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on select Enclave models in stock the longest. That's over $7,200 on this Enclave.
Hi, Jamie. Hi. Hi.
Jamie, the most popular girl in the school, saying hi. By hi, why not? Hey, Jamie, how's it going? And what does she mean by hi? Nice backpack. Thanks, it's from H-E-B. Cool, I'll see you later. Bye.
H-E-B has super low prices on everything for back to school, like
this week's Binder Bundle. Buy any zipper binder and get these 4 items free with in-store coupons.
Back to school starts here at H-E-B.
Bird Ogden now brings the largest dealership in the valley with easier access plus bigger savings. Like a 2015 Camry, now only $137 per month. Just take the Altas Palmas exit to the brand new Bird Ogden Toyota on the expressway in Harlingen.
Dale gas! The search continues for 2 people missing after a large explosion at a Motel 6.
Motel 6, is that a report of an explosion at your location?
16 rooms at that motel reduced to rubble in just a matter of seconds. This blast sent bathtubs and other debris flying from the motel. Employees first reported a large natural gas leak at the back of that building, but it's the motel manager who's being hailed a hero for pulling the fire alarm and evacuating the motel just minutes before the explosion.
Some of them have children, they're guests, and I'm just happy to see their little kids and see them all together.
An electric gas company worker is in critical condition right now. Among the 65 guests, 2 men are still unaccounted for.
Well, now to Alaska in the search for 3 people swept away in a landslide. They are presumed dead this afternoon. Crews are looking to recover the bodies.
The thought is, though, is that they were working construction on the home.
Yeah, heavy rains led to landslides and sinkholes in the picturesque town of Sitka. 1 home is destroyed, a second home was damaged in one landslide, and then on the other side of town, a wall of mud hit a seafood processing facility.
It sounded like a freight train just hit the side of the building. Multiple loud booms, just real loud thumps. And me and my coworker just ran because the building felt like it was just going to collapse.
At least 50 employees were evacuated. The governor declared a state of emergency in Sitka. Evacuations remain in place over fears of more landslides.
Heat advisory still in effect for Hidalgo County for a while yet. It's been a hot afternoon, but tomorrow things change. Could be some pretty good rainfall across the area. When we come back, your first 1-5 forecast for La Gloria, Monte Alto, Laguna Vista, and the rest of the valley. It's next.
Can't stand the heat, get off the test track. Get the Mercedes-Benz you've been burning for at the summer event going on now at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. But hurry, offers end August 31st.
Mercedes-Benz of San Juan is where luxury meets convenience. From the first point of contact to the continued support we offer you as a luxury vehicle owner.
I believe we've raised the bar, creating an environment of service that takes ownership to a whole new level.
And now with attractive leasing offers and extensive various entry-level vehicles, there's a Mercedes-Benz for everyone.
Come visit us at Mercedes-Benz of San Juan, part of the South Texas Luxury Experience, where luxury meets convenience.
South Texas College is among the most affordable colleges in the nation, so Abby can afford to be one of the first in her family to go to college, and soon, the very first to go off to law school. Meet Abby, a lawyer in the making at South Texas College. From South Texas College, Sarah can choose to transfer to one of 120 universities, and since her dream school for her dream career is one of them, she's already made up her mind. Meet Sarah, an Aggie in the making at South Texas College.
And me. Ah, yes! Can't stop it.
Oh, your mom liked my post.
You're friends with my mother? Another episode?
Definitely.
We all use it differently, so why should we get it all the same way? Call Time Warner Cable to get the internet speed you need.
Are you guys texting each other?
For the right price.
Yeah.
From $14.99 everyday low price internet to 50 meg internet, we have you covered. Even with Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Plans start at $14.99 per month. Call 1-855-1TWC to switch today. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
There's a revolution coming at the United Dealerships of Bird Ogden. Join the truck nation today at Bird Ogden Chevrolet. Bert Ogden Ram, Bert Ogden GMC, Bert Ogden Toyota, Bert Ogden Nissan, and Fiesta Chevrolet. When you think trucks, think Bert Ogden. We are the Truck Nation.
And now, First Warn 5 weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith.
Hey folks, a scorcher across the valley today. McAllen right now at 103. It did hit 106 this afternoon, breaking that old record of 103, so a significantly warmer day than it's been. 99 in Weslaco, 86 at the beach right now, 93 in Brownsville. You add in the humidity and it feels like 116. That's why there's been a heat advisory for Hidalgo County all day today. Even feels like 107 in Brownsville. Feels like 99 at the beach. It's just hot. Now satellite radar together showing not a lot over the valley today. There's been action northwest, east, and south, but nothing overhead. That will probably change. Future Track suggests that by midnight, it's still pretty quiet, but we're starting to see the signs of some rain, and by morning, and the models differ on when this is going to happen, so you can't put everything together. Okay, 6 a.m. it's going to rain. No, I think there's going to be a couple of times we got a chance of some pretty good rainfall around the valley tomorrow. The exact time still questionable, but I think it's going to be there. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Heavy rain, very definitely a possibility during the daytime tomorrow, maybe even around during the afternoon and evening as well. Friday, still the possibility of some pretty good rain across the area. I think by Saturday it finally begins to dry out, but it takes until Saturday to get there, and once that happens, maybe still an isolated shower or two, but then drier weather starting Sunday. If you look at the map of Texas, you can kind of tell there's something happening in the state because it's 103 in Del Rio, but only 81 in Odessa. Dallas is 84, while Austin is 95. And indeed, there's a front working its way across the state, a front that's not going to get here, but it's going to get close enough to work with the moisture and make things happen across the state tomorrow. There's the front, there's the upper air disturbance, and an awful lot of moisture. Dew points are in the 70s. Just moisture content of the atmosphere very high over the next day or two, and so that means just a little bit of daytime heating. Things are going to get going tomorrow. We're going to end up with scattered showers, brief heavy rain a possibility. The front washes out to the north, but still the instability is here, and with that the chance of rain continues on Friday. Again, by Saturday that upper air disturbance is gone and the rain chances start to fade away, and by Sunday I think the rain chance is gone. So we're going heavy rain, 20% Saturday, and then it's gone by Sunday. Temperatures stay below average for a couple of days and start to go back up on Saturday, back up to 98, so we're back above average. Quick check of the Atlantic. We do have Tropical Storm Danny right there. Danny moving to the west at a pretty quick pace. Winds are now up to 50 miles per hour. Hurricane Center takes it up to a hurricane by the time we get to Friday afternoon, and then kind of holds it, backing off on going up to Category 2 strength, keeping it at Category 1, and then weakening as it comes into the islands of the Caribbean, back down to a tropical storm. So we think, at least for now, it's got a couple days to strengthen, but then may fade off again. So warm and humid tonight, spotty shower or thunderstorm, and tomorrow heavy rain a possibility. Highs up around 93, but if you're being rained on, you won't be anywhere near that. You'll be in the 70s or 80s. Chance of rain fades on Saturday, is gone by Sunday. For the most part, next week looks mostly sunny and near 100 once again. Keep an eye out on the weather tonight, tomorrow, and again on Saturday. That's your updated First Warn 5 forecast.
Wear that every day.
Oh, well, what about this one?
I can't even. She loves it.
Oh, it's on sale. At Belle's, we speak back to school.
Groovy. What does that mean?
That's why you'll love it. Your back to school sale at Belle's.
Gilman Guy rule number 36. Folks, this is it. Dust off your dancing shoes. This is the big one. The whole enchilada, the icing on the cake. Gilman is pulling out all the stops on this one.
Right now, during the Honda Summer Clearance Event, lease a 2015 Honda Accord for $119 a month or a 2015 Honda Civic for $118 a month at Gilman Honda in San Benito. Gilman, big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Gilman Guy rule number 36. It's the cherry on top.
Gilman, it's the way to go.
At Lax, we treat our employees like family.
And our customers like friends.
But now, for the first time ever,
Lax is giving special friends and family discounts to everyone.
Like the adorable Lindsay Twin Day Bed in Trundle. Take your choice of 4 colors. Friends and family discount price only $298. You save $102. Plus no down payment and no interest for 24 months. And free delivery.
Friends and family discounts for everyone.
Now at Lax.
Summer savings are back at Bert Ogden Mazda in Mission and Edinburgh with a huge selection on over 150 Mazdas with big savings, like a 35 Highway MPG 2016 Mazda CX-5 as low as $228 per month, or get up to 40 Highway MPG in a 2015 Mazda 3 just $158 per month. This summer, the choice is clear. Mazda sale prices are heating up the competition.
Get big excitement with even bigger savings now at Bert Ogden Mazda in Mission and Edinburgh. Dale gas!
At the Bell's Back to School sale, shoes for the family are buy one, get one half off, and great looks for girls and boys are 50% off. With everything you'll save and the extra savings from your coupon, it's like getting something for myself for free.
She's super stoked.
Your Back to School sale at Bell's.
Channel 5 News en Espanol is supported by Rio Bank.
Breaking news just into Channel 5. Brownsville police are on the scene of a death investigation. They were called to the La Quinta Inn and Suites this afternoon. We're told a body was found inside the hotel. Police are waiting on autopsy results before ruling on this case, and we're working to get more information. We'll keep tracking for the latest details.
Also breaking right now at 5, authorities are working a huge wildfire in Stark County. This is a picture that we just received from the Palmview Fire Chief, Jerry Alanis. This is just one of several fire departments on the scene. We're told that this fire is burning just off of the river in La Grulla. The fire has scorched dozens of acres there. Our Steve Solis headed to the scene right now. We will have the very latest on Channel 5 News at 6.
Well, we're seeing that chance for showers and a couple of thunderstorms, especially tomorrow. Let's take a look at what's going on right now, though. Look at this. Still feels like 116 in McAllen. It's just hot. We'll check that forecast when we come back.
Get a good look.
Then get in on the excitement of the last of our 2015 models during Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Choose Central with 0% APR for up to 72 months. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Buy smart at iMart Express.
I love being able to buy and wear my glasses the same day. Why would anybody wait 2 weeks?
2 pairs start at $38.71 and 2 pairs with progressive lenses just $76.92. And you can wear your glasses today.
They have lots of choices at great prices. And oh, my glasses are ready. This time when I used my insurance, I got a second pair free.
Buy smart at iMart Express. Right now, use your insurance and get a second pair free.
Cool off with these hot deals and save. Lease a 2015 Buick Encore for $199 a month for 24 months. Or lease a 2015 Buick Enclave for only $249 a month at Payne West Laco Buick GMC in the Payne Auto Mall. We have what you want.
Regardless. The preseason savings event is going on now at Hyundai.
Hello.
Official sponsor of the NFL.
Yes!
Score with the 5-star overall safety rated 2015 Santa Fe Sport and the 2015 IIHS Top Safety Pick Sonata.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Now get the Santa Fe Sport for 0.9% APR for up to 60 months. Or now use your $500 summer sales cash and get up to $1,750 total savings. See your Rio Grande Valley Hyundai dealers today.
If my girl came home with her clothes smelling like smoke, oh, you'd bet I'd say something loud and clear.
I saw a guy once about to sell some smokes to a kid. That one going down with me standing there.
Sometimes it's hard to know how old someone is, so I just ask everyone for ID.
I make sure there are no cigarettes lying around the house anymore.
I tell my son and his friends, if I ever catch you with that nasty stuff, you're gonna be sorry.
The Texas tobacco law needs a little help from you.
Enforcing it?
It's up to all of us.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. Do you have the KRGV weather app? It's interactive. You can track storms headed right towards your neighborhood with live radar. In fact, you can check the weather for any place you want. Check out the 10-day forecast. One touch delivers hour-by-hour weather. You can see video forecast and even submit your very own weather photos. It's the fast way to get your official forecast. Download the free app, available for Android and iOS devices.
Supported by McDonald's, Payne Auto Group, Plains Capital Bank, and Shaw Eye Center.
Get a good look.
Then get in on the excitement of the last of our 2015 models during Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Choose Rogue with 0% APR for up to 60 months. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Well, it's still hot across the valley. We're going to get a break from the heat the next couple of days, but with that break comes a pretty good shot at rain, and some of it could be heavy. Take a look tomorrow and Friday. A good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some of that rain could be heavy. Strong storms certainly a possibility. I think by Saturday it's waning but not gone. So it's raining, but the rain is waning. By Sunday, I think it's waned completely, and we're back to sunshine. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sunny back up to 99. But tomorrow, Friday, good chance of some pretty good rainfall. An update for you at 6.
We have some information to bring you right now. KRGV TV and Dish have been negotiating a new carriage agreement.
We are hopeful that a new agreement will be reached in a timely manner, but unfortunately the negotiations appear to have reached an impasse, and our contract with Dish has expired. We have granted Dish multiple extensions to Friday, August 21st.
If you are a Dish subscriber and if we are unable to reach a new agreement, Dish, as of noon, August 21st, will no longer offer KRGV TV and its top-rated programs. We'll keep you informed of the status of the negotiations.
KRGV TV will, of course, continue to be available for free over the air and by other satellites and cable companies. We thank you so much for watching Channel 5 News at 5 today. Stay tuned for the latest on the death investigation in Brownsville and also that major fire out in La Grulla.
In the meantime, have yourself a great evening. Bye-bye.
Closed captioning brought to you by Channel 5 and Clark Chevrolet McAllen.
So I was a head chef at 24. I won Best New Restaurant in the Country at 31. I've published cookbooks. I've been on TV. I've relied on people every step of the way. So staying connected to those people, that's what makes me feel accomplished. The people I connect with. These are the people that I ride with every day.
Lease the redesigned Infiniti QX80 with room for up to 8 for $729 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Bird Ogden Cadillac in Mission is the Valley's only dealership exclusively for Cadillac customers and is a trusted name in luxury vehicles. Come get the service, selection, and savings you deserve. Drive a 2015 Cadillac SRX today for $339 per month and with just $2029 down. Plus, the brand new 2015 Escalades are in stock today. Stop in and experience the feel of automotive luxury for yourself. Discover a new standard of luxury ownership at Bird Ogden Cadillac Mission.
Dale gas!
Channel 5 News is proud to invite you to join us as we introduce Channel 5 News in Espanol. You'll still see the same team, breaking news and breaking stories, now also available in Spanish. Use your SAP button to tune in. By choosing the secondary audio channel on your TV, you'll see the same great newscast translated live by our team of translators. It's the coverage the Valley depends on from Channel 5 News, now available in Espanol. You're watching KRGV, Channel 5 Weslaco.
Tonight, the gas explosion, the search for the missing today. First, the natural gas fears, then the sudden blast. More than 60 people and their split-second escape. We are on the scene, and we have seen several of these explosions in recent months. Donald Trump and his tough new words on undocumented immigrants and their children born here. Are they really U.S. citizens? Two giant sinkholes tonight, the earth opening right where a home was swallowed before. The homeowner never found. New aerials coming in at this hour, and the major interstate shut down too. Extreme weather tonight after multiple tornadoes, baseball fans running for cover, travelers trapped. Millions now in the path tonight. And who wants to be a millionaire? 4.5 million found in just 2 feet of water off a popular American beach. Is there more sitting right there tonight?
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the fear so many homeowners have when they smell gas in the home, fearing there could be a potentially explosive leak. This time, the emergency call, a motel filled with guests. When firefighters arrived, those fears realized a massive explosion and fire. More than 60 guests had just been warned to get out. They made it out alive. The explosion ripping the building apart, the blast knocking people over, critically injuring one of them tonight. Firefighters still on the scene at this hour. They had been searching for 2 people. They've been missing all day. There is late word coming in now. They have been accounted for. They are safe. But the explosion, the latest in a series of blasts that have authorities warning tonight, call as soon as you smell something. ABC's Neil Karlinski is on the scene tonight.
The search for the missing went on much of the day. The blast so powerful, firefighters who just arrived at this Motel 6 were blown back 20 feet, giving one of them a concussion.
My